All right, everybody, today we are going to make nature's granola. And as you can see here, I got everything I need. I got some mixed nuts, natural cane sugar, raisins, vanilla, maple syrup. I got some walnut milk and I got some oat milk. I usually drink almond milk, but they didn't have any. So I thought, oh, what a good time to try out something new. I got some fresh strawberries to throw on at the end. I got some coconut chips and another bag of oats. Okay, first thing I'm going to do is take my dry ingredients, which I just happen to have in a big beer mug, because one big beer mug holds a couple cups of oats, and this takes 4.5 cups. So it fits perfectly in there. And then I'm going to put my nuts and my raisins in there. I went a little bit off the recipe because it was easier to just buy a big bag of mixed nuts than to buy separate ones. So I just did that and mixed them with the raisins. I'll throw those in there. And then, man, there's a lot of coconut. It's gonna be delicious. And then I have my cinnamon and my nutmeg. This is the cinnamon, this is the nutmeg. I will not be doing the cinnamon challenge. If you want to, feel free, but I'm not good at choking on stuff. So I'm just gonna throw it in there, and I'm going to mix it all up. Wow, it looks great already. And then after this, I'm going to go on the stove and mix up the wet ingredients and the sugar, which will make the syrup that pours over this. Let's go. Okay, time for the wet ingredients. I have 1 beer mug full of water, 1 bowl of sugar, 1 shot glass that my good friend brought back from the Philippines of vanilla, and 1 glass, I don't know if you can see the writing, that was sealed up. My friend bought it back from Russia. It's a Russian vodka. So we're on the alcohol theme today. And that is maple syrup. And then we're gonna bring that over to the stove and we are going to cook it and then pour it onto our oat mix. Okay, let's get this mix going. It says nothing. It says cook over medium heat for 2 to 3 minutes. I think what we really want is just to get the sugar dissolved. I doubt that will take 2 to 3 minutes, but it'll take a little bit of time. So while we're here, this recipe doesn't seem very healthy. Everything else in this book seems super healthy. This thing's got a ton of nuts, which is a ton of fat and calories, which isn't bad if you eat them moderately, you know? But it's also got a ton of sugar, a ton of maple syrup, a lot of coconuts, which they're delicious and they're natural as well. I mean, it fits in the diet, whole food, plant-based, pretty much, except for the processed sugar. But wow, if you're on a diet, I don't recommend making this because it's gonna be full of calories. It's gonna be delicious, but wow, it's gonna be full of calories. I think when I'm done with this, I'll go to the computer and break down all the ingredients and find out what the calories are. And I'll put that up on my website and you guys can go check out how many calories it is and break it down by serving. See if you really want to eat this one. Anyway, it's gonna be delicious. Okay, the sugar is totally broken down. And I guess that means we're ready. I don't want to get it too hot because it doesn't say let it cool down. It just throw it together with everything, all the oats. So yeah, that's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna take this and pour it in the oats and we'll be on the next step. Okay, here is my bowl of mix and my wet ingredients, and it says to just pour it in there and mix it up. So I hope you're not supposed to pour it in there slowly. I just dumped it all in, and well, it soaked it right up. I thought it would be all sticky, but it's not at all. It's just like wet oats, I guess. I don't really know what I'm doing. I expected it to be super thick, but it's not. It just feels like wet oats. Oh, it smells delicious. I think it's that maple syrup plus the vanilla and the cinnamon. Oh man, I hope it tastes like that. Kind of has to, I guess. The raisins in there, all those nuts. Oh, this is gonna be delicious. I do have one problem, and that is my oven's pretty small, and I think you have to spread this out thinly. You can't just plop a big pile of it on there. So I'm probably gonna have to do like 10 batches of baking. So it might take a while, but I'll spare you the time and just show you one. All right, I think that's good. I'm gonna get my baking tray. Actually, I'll just get it right now. Here is my baking tray. And yeah, it just says spread it out. Thinly spread mixture on a lined baking sheet. This is lined as far as I know. So I'm just gonna take it and throw it on like that. I don't know. I don't know what else you could do. I don't want to make it too thick, because then I think it won't bake. But I don't know how thin. Does it have to just be one layer? If it's just one layer and not doubled up at all, it's already too much. Anyway, like I said, I'm gonna get several attempts at this because that's how much I have left, and that's all that fits on my tray. So I'm gonna go ahead and cook this one at 300, I believe, for 1 hour. Holy moly, it's gonna take me 6 hours to bake all this stuff. I should have bought a bigger oven or made a smaller recipe. Anyway, I guess I know what I'm doing for the rest of the day and probably until tomorrow morning. All right, I'll catch you guys later. Okay, into the oven we go. Should I trim that? Is this gonna be a problem? I think I'll trim it a little bit and then make sure I don't burn the house down. This is at the 45-minute mark, and it is very dark. I don't know, it's kind of dark in this room. It's hard to see. Ow! That thing's hot. Let's go in the kitchen where it's a little bit brighter. Wow, you can't see anything there. Set it on here. Yeah, I guess it looks okay. I thought it was burning. Maybe it's just because of the maple syrup and the sugar in there. I'm not used to seeing that. But yeah, it smelled like it was burning a bit too, but I think it's okay. So I think I'm just gonna take this one out. I can't imagine that it needs another 15 minutes in the oven. So this is round one. Like I said, there's gonna be about 10 rounds because my oven's so small. And let's see what happens. Okay, here goes another round. Let's mix this up a little bit. It's been sitting for an hour now. I don't know if that does anything to it, but here we go. I think I was a little bit worried last time about how thick to put it on there, and actually it didn't seem to be any problem. I think I did overcook it a little bit, and I think I had the oven a little bit too high. We use Celsius ovens here in Thailand, and like probably most people watching this, I'm used to Fahrenheit. So when it says 300 degrees, I kind of just guessed because I'm too lazy to go look it up online. And I did look it up online, and I think I had it a bit hotter than it was supposed to be. Not I think. I had it a bit hotter than it was supposed to be, for sure. So we'll, ooh, that's gonna be a little too thick. We will try it again. I turned the oven down about halfway through that last batch. And let's see if this one dries out a little bit more, but gets less brown. Here is, I don't know if you can see that, but here's a contrast between one that's cooked and one that's not. And I think it is a little bit darker, especially some of the nuts, but it's delicious. So, especially with some milk in there, it'll be good. But I do want to cook this one a little bit less. So back in the oven it goes. Since I've got so much of this, I think I'm gonna throw some in the air fryer. I don't know if that's good or bad or none of the above, but I'm gonna throw it in there. See what happens. I think, oh, please don't fall through there. I think it should be all right. I don't know. I should probably Google this before I go ahead and do it, but it's too late now. All right, this is going in the air fryer. Well, check that out. About 12, 13 minutes in the air fryer did exactly the same as what an hour did in a conventional oven. So I think I might be going for the air fryer when I make this. The only problem with the air fryer is that I did lose a few oats in the bottom, but as long as you haven't cooked anything oily in there, or you know, like if you're making meat or something, you don't want your oats tasting like chicken, right? So just make sure it's super clean, and it doesn't really matter because the bottom is not where the heat's coming from. The heat's coming from the air, from the top. So it's not like they're gonna sit on the bottom and get blackened and turn into charcoal. So I'm gonna go ahead and cook the rest of this in the air fryer, and then I'll mix it all up, and I'll see you when it's done. All right, here is the second batch out of the air fryer. And as you can see, it's a little bit lighter, but it's also totally dried out and it's nice and crunchy. So I think really what you've got to do here is turn the temperature down, because I turned the temperature on the air fryer right down to its lowest setting, and it took about 15 minutes, and it's just better. I think you got to think of it more as dehydrating than cooking, which probably a few of you chuckling now because you probably already knew that. But what I did before is I cooked it, and you can see it's quite a bit darker. So there you go, if you can see that. And it's a lot better if it's not quite so dark, but still nice and crunchy. So the second batch is still in the oven, and I'm already on the third batch in the air fryer. So I'm gonna go ahead and put another batch in there, and we're just about done. Thought I was gonna be here all night. Now I have time to go out for a beer. All right, here it all is. It's about 2/3 done in the air fryer, and probably a third done in the conventional oven. It looks pretty good. I definitely overcooked some of it because I had to heat up a little bit higher than it should have been, because I was baking it instead of just dehydrating it, which is what it needed. But it looks pretty good. Looks good. I have not licked it yet, but I plan to chew some up and enjoy it, and I will be trying that with you in just one moment. All right, it is done, and I'm going to go with some walnut milk, because the other one I got was oat milk, and I think there's enough oats in this thing. And I'm going to put a nice healthy dose of milk in there. Oh, look at that. It's going to be so good. I haven't even tried it. I know it's going to be good. Oh, look at that. Strawberries, bananas. Oh, just eat it already. Stop being a moron. Let me get some straw. Oh, there we go. We got strawberries, bananas, nuts, coconut. Oh, it's going to be good. Hold on. Can I do this without spilling? I knew it was gonna be good. It'd be better if the milk was cold. I left it sitting out because I was an idiot and I was too busy taking pictures. But that is good. I highly recommend that you make it. Thing is, I'm going to sit down and work out all the calories in this thing. This is not a low calorie deal. So hold on just a second. Let me go get my calculator, figure out how much I'm eating here.